Okay, this is the first step. We're going to cleanse the skin. And I'm going to leave her eye makeup on because I can't go near the orbital bone, inside the orbital bone with this treatment anyway. And she's going somewhere right after here. That way she won't have to redo all of her eye makeup. This is our compressed sponges after I've gotten it wet. This is beforehand. We like to say that this is the HydraFacial after treatment. This is before. It's a gel cleanser just to get rid of any residual on the face. This cleans off really, really nice. Our gel cleanser. Okay, now we're ready to start our treatment. This machine tells me everything to do every step of the way. Go up here, I push HydraFacial, and I'm going to skip to the protocols. It tells me in the beginning the 3 steps, the facial lymphatic, the HydraFacial, and the LED. Today we're just going to do the HydraFacial treatment. The next step is the lymphatic section, but here's where we're going to start. We're going to start, and it's going to tell me that we're using our Active 4 solution to cleanse and exfoliate the skin. We're going to use the large blue tip on the handpiece. We're going to use long, fast, overlapping strokes. Our vacuum is going to be set at 18, and then we're ready to turn it on. Okay, it tells me to use the blue tip. There is a red tip. The picture here shows green, but it's red now. There is a red tip in case you want extra exfoliation. And then this is the throttle, so it tells me how much serum is going to come out at a time. We're ready to go. Go here to make sure we've got product coming through, and we do. And then we're going to do our long 60% overlapping strokes. And how does that feel? Good. We can turn our throttle down just a little bit. We don't need quite so much product. I'm going to come in and do the lip area, and then the cheek area. The handpiece is doing all the suction. You come in and get the nose area ready for the solution. This is Active 4 because it's cleansing the skin, it's loosening up the dead skin cells, we're exfoliating, we're getting rid of everything on the surface so that later on when we go to do the extraction, it'll come off, the debris will come out easier. This is our Active 4 solution. It basically has 4 things that it does. It loosens the dead skin cells so that we can extract easier. We want long flowing strokes here. Our Active 4 solution basically has 4 properties. It cleanses, it exfoliates, it loosens the dead skin cells, it helps soften the sebum that's in the follicles. All of this is to get the skin ready for extractions and for infusion of the antioxidants at the end of the treatment. Antioxidants to fight the free radicals, which is a big part of this treatment. But we are exfoliating the skin, we're cleansing the skin, we're softening the sebum, all with the lactic acid and glucosamine solution. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I need just a little bit more solution. Sometimes on the chin area it's a little bit easier to go in if their chin is a little bit raised. We do the upper lip area, and then the cheek area, the long strokes. Letting the handpiece do all the work. It's lifting the skin. I'm not pressing down at all. The handpiece is doing all the work for me. And then this entire step we're going to do one more time. Sometimes when the skin's really dehydrated, it absorbs most of the liquid for us. So the step again, the long overflowing strokes, with the handpiece doing all the work for me. sure we get some liquid on the nose area so it can loosen everything up for us. Sometimes just by dabbing and holding, loosen some liquid to do that nose area. And you can do some long flowing strokes too to get a good exfoliation in there. Okay. Okay, the same thing over here. And we can't go inside that orbital bone, so sometimes I pull the skin down just a little bit so we can hit it. Okay, that step 1 is done. Now we're going to move on to step 2. For step 2, I get rid of this tip. We just throw it right in the trash. And the next tip I put on is the teal tip. We'll go to the next step on the machine, and it's going to tell us to put on the teal tip, same vacuum setting. We're going to take this out, this off, because we're not using that solution anymore, and we're going to put our glycol, which is 7.5% glycolic and 2% salicylic acid, and we're going to use a feather stroke to deliver this into the skin. It's a different stroke entirely. Make sure we got a little bit of liquid. We surely did. Just like we're painting a picture is how we do this one. This step goes really, really, really fast. And this is all preparing the skin for extraction and preparing the skin for the infusion of antioxidants and hydrators, nutrients for the skin later on. Healthy skin is hydrated skin. Hydrated skin is healthy skin. That's what we're going for, healthy, hydrated skin. So we're doing a little bit of a peel on this area. Little paint strokes. Little paintbrush strokes. The glycol, the glycolic is to exfoliate the dead skin cells on the surface, and the salicylic acid actually can be a little bit soothing for skin at the same time because it comes from aspirin, but also it is one of the few things that can actually go into the follicle and clean the follicle from the outside, inside out. It can clean the follicle from the inside out, dissolving the dead skin cells, which is what we want for extractions. This would be an excellent treatment. This treatment is good for everybody. It's good for somebody with aging skin. It's good for somebody that needs their follicles cleaned. It's good for somebody that's got pigmentation problems. It addresses every skincare problem that we have. Princess Kate got one the day before she was getting married. We have celebrities that have their own machines out in Hollywood. It's good for dehydrated skin. No downtime, no discomfort, immediate results. Okay, now the next step we're going to do is do a little bit of extraction. And so we're going to take the peel out, and we're going to put our handpiece back in. We're going to turn the beta HD, which is beta hydroxy acid, and to do the extractions, Our stroke is going to be slow and constant, and our vacuum is going to go up to 25. We'll see if she has any of the blackheads in her chin and her nose area, but she's more of a dry skin type, so she probably won't. But to do the extractions with the Beta HD, you just kind of put it over the area, and it's a slow, constant stroke. And that's kind of like, as you're doing this, the follicle's being stretched just a little bit, blackhead just pops right out. Sometimes it takes several treatments to get all the blackheads out, but it's kind of fun. You can actually show the client the canister at the end of the treatment, and you can see the dead skin cells and the follicle in the solution that has been removed. So it's pretty cool. We had a gal yesterday that after I did her, she went into the mirror, and right while she was in the mirror, she just scratched her face and another blackhead came out. Because what we're also doing, remember, we're working inside of the skin. Because of the patented tip on our hand pieces, it's exfoliating, it's hydrating, it's extracting, and infusing all at the same time. So, and then sometimes people have a little bit of blackheads in this area. This particular client doesn't really have a lot of blackheads, but any of them that are in there, we're going to make sure that we get out. For some clients, this is gold, and this is why they come in for the whole treatment, is just to get their blackheads cleaned out. And it does not hurt near like what manual extractions hurt like at all. They're very painful, but this one, they tell me it doesn't hurt at all. Side's all done. Now I'll do this side. It's that slow, constant stroke. It just vacuums them right up. Sometimes there's a little bit down in this area. And for some clients, they get the blackheads out in this area. She doesn't really have any. And sometimes the trick is trying to figure out how to go over that nose area. Just as long as you can get good suction going over the top, that's the most important part, and then they can get the blackheads can come right out. And we're also infusing the salicylic acid into that follicle, so it's loosening up anything else that's in there for so it'll extract on its own. And then with the Beta HD, sometimes they have areas up in here that we need to work on. This Beta HD can also work on areas where there's pigmentation. So if there's an area of pigmentation, like if this area right here is bothering her a little bit, it's right inside that orbital bone, which I can't really work on too much, but the lower one I could. Trying to lighten up that pigmentation spot, and I could see that it got a little bit lighter. The pigmentation spots over here, we could do a long constant stroke on those and try to lighten those up a little bit. And this in here. This is a pretty aggressive setting on the vacuum, so you can see that that does a little bit too. If she wanted this pigmentation spot lightened up a little bit, we can do this with the beta hydroxy acid, because we're infusing it right into the skin, not just topically. We're working inside the skin with this product. Just kind of drawing the pigmentation out. And after several treatments, they'll just keep getting a little bit lighter with each treatment. We're infusing that beta hydroxy acid in there. There we go. Okay, that is the beta hydroxy acid part of it. Now what we're going to do for this client in particular, we're going to do what's called the derma builder. And this is a really, really fun part of the treatment for me because I get to see immediate results. And usually what I'll do is let the client see the immediate results as well. I'm going to switch from the teal hand piece now. That goes in the throwaway pile. And we're putting on the white hand piece. We're going to put the vacuum back down here to 18. And we're going to make sure that we have some derma builder coming out, which we do. On this part, a lot of times I like to let the client see it just to get the client's reaction. So I'm going to hand our client a mirror. Here you go, Kelly. And what I want to do is I want to show her how we can fill in a little bit of the lines that she's got right up here. This stroke is a little bit different. It's slow and then dab and hold. So what we do with this one is we go slow, and we can also dab and hold. She's absorbing a lot of the product in there. She's a little on the dehydrated side. So her skin will look beautiful after we're done here. I'm going to do one side of her forehead first just so she can kind of get a look at it, and then we'll do the other side. This is the part that's really almost like magic. And this is usually an extra charge in the procedure. So Dr. Oz is supposed to be having it on his show in the near future, and they're calling it an alternative to Botox, a natural alternative for people that don't want injections. Okay, client, do you notice the difference between your two sides of your forehead? Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily make the lines go away, it just kind of fills them in. Feel the difference, Cal? Mm-hmm. Pretty cool, huh? They don't go away, they just get filled in. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. This is the magic. This is what people love. This is why we have people out in Hollywood buying their own personal units. And then we also have them going in like every week for treatments. Again, with the HydraFacial, I am the exclusive distributor for all of Arkansas and southern Missouri. So if you'd like to come in, experience the treatment, if you think this would be a great addition to what the wonderful services you're already offering your salon, I would love to tell you all about this machine, train you, and get it installed in your facility for you, because it is an amazing, amazing, amazing treatment. And a lot of times I do right in there. I can't work inside of the orbital bone, but that's a tip that they're coming out with pretty soon. It's going to be called the eye tip, and that'll be really nice too. But I can plump up all the way underneath of the eye area and in this part right here. She's got some over in this area. A lot of people have it down underneath of here, but she doesn't really have it there. She's got this area. Mm-hmm. Feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Pretty cool, isn't it? Mm-hmm. This is the part the clients like the most. It just totally fills it in. Totally filled in, huh? Okay, and then the next step that we're going to do is we're going to go to putting the antioxidants in. And for this one, I put the handpiece back in here and turn on the Antiox 6. It's free radical fighters, antioxidants. We're going to do a feather, then dab and hold. We're going to saturate the skin with this step. We've got vitamin A, we've got vitamin E, we've got horse chestnut, rosemary, hyaluronic acid. So it's really, really, really wonderful for the skin. On this one, we're feathering and dabbing. And people really like the dabbing step of this one. And with the vortex tip, that's what puts the product into the skin. We're not just working on the surface, but by doing the dabbing, we're getting the skin to absorb the product in. And with more treatments, which we're going to keep her on a whole series, we'll get it more lightened, more hydrated. She'll be a very happy HydraFacial client. So exactly what we want to do is hydrate the skin with all these antioxidants. You can tell when you've got a good suction, you hear it. Sometimes on the nose it's a little bit hard to get that good suction, so you got to kind of push down a little bit. That's the only uncomfortable part for the client. It's not even really that bad. Now in the areas where we put the derma builder, the peptides that we put into the skin, we can only use the dabbing. We can't do any stroking, just dabbing to hydrate the skin up. But I can tell her forehead already looks a lot better. She's going to be thrilled. Let the skin absorb all this. Pushed it right into the skin. Okay, then we're going to do this side. Feather and then dab. Again, in the areas where we put derma builder, we only dab. Really saturating the skin with these antioxidants at this part of the treatment. And do feather strokes or dabbing strokes. The vortex is getting the product into the skin, these wonderful antioxidants to nourish the skin. And later on, they're going to be coming out, and I cannot wait with a handpiece that we're going to be able to treat inside the orbital region. To plump that area up, which everybody needs, will be wonderful. And the thing I like about the HydraFacial unit is they've always got add-on things. We can put any different, as they come out with newer and better serums, like something new gets discovered, we just have a new little canister that we can put in here and put into the client's skin for them. I'm going to dab the hydrating antioxidants so the skin can absorb them all. And again, these products are going into the skin, not just sitting on the surface. Once we have the vortex, it creates the opening, and then the skin will absorb the product. That's why the importance of the dabbing method, to get the vortex next to the skin. Okay, well that product's all being absorbed in. Work this product into the skin for our client. Her skin looks so much healthier, so much nicer. Not messing up her mascara. Now what I want to do is seal all those beneficial ingredients into the skin with a little bit of our Pure Moist right on top. We don't need a lot, just a little bit to seal it in. This is a hyaluronic acid moisturizer. Hyaluronic acid is what we infused into the skin as well. It holds 1,000 times its weight of moisture in the skin. So that's why I want to put this, seal everything in for our client. And at this point, I like to give the eye area a little bit of a treatment, and I usually have the client help me out with that part. So what I do is give the client the mirror and have her look at her skin and tell me how she feels about her skin at this point. Notice the difference?
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice? You can touch it and feel it if you want to, too.
I notice less wrinkles.
Pretty good. Anything else when you're feeling it, do you notice?
Oh, it feels much softer.
Softer?
Mm-hmm.
Hydrated?
Mm-hmm.
Feel clean?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, set the mirror down for just a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a drop of our eye serum. It's to lighten, brighten, and tighten the eye area. And I'm going to put one drop on your ring finger. If I could have your ring finger, please. And you could set down the mirror. Okay, now put it between your two ring fingers. Just like this, between your two ring fingers. And then I want you to dot it right underneath your eye area. And then all the way around. This is an eye treatment product to lighten, brighten, and tighten. And once you've got it dotted, then you can rub it in a little bit too for that eye area. And this is a product we can sell you for at home. How's that feel?
Good.
And then come again and yeah, come inside. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Just that little eye area. We could use a little bit. You've got the hereditary dark circles from your family. And then the last thing that we would do is just put a little bit of sunscreen on, because we've exfoliated dead skin cells, although it is nighttime out right now, so we won't need to use it, but it's our UV Smart, which is awesome as a finishing treatment. And there you have it, the HydraFacial treatment and why it's so popular. The HydraFacial treatment. Healthy, happy skin, satisfied client who's going to rebook, because we know with more treatments we're going to keep lightening the pigmentation, keep the skin nice and plump, just what she wants. I absolutely love this HydraFacial treatment. I am the exclusive representative for all of Arkansas and southern Missouri. If you'd love to come in and get some training on this unit, I'd love to do that for you. If you want a demo and you think it has a place in your facility, just give me a call, because I'd love to come in your facility and show you how this could make you lots of money and lots of happy clients.